Hare Krishna, Namaste.
Chapter 13 is entitled as Kshetrajna Yoga, also as Prakrti-Purusha-Vibhaga Yoga, also as Prakrti-Purusha-Viveka Yoga. Sloka 20, Part 2. Prakṛtiṁ puruṣaṁ caiva viddhy anādī ubhāv api vikārāṁś guṇāṁś caiva viddhi prakṛti-sambhavān. Material nature and the living entities should be understood to be beginningless. Their transformations and the modes of matter are product of material nature. In the previous session, we learned that both material nature, that is the prakriti, and the living entity, that is atmas, are eternal. Their connections are eternal. That is to say, it's not something that they started on a particular year, time. The relationship that they have cannot be traced back, doesn't have a beginning. Therefore, they both are beginningless in their connection. The term Purusha refers here to the living entity. Also, we learned that the Prakriti, connection to the Prakriti, is the cause, karana, for the bondage, that is samsara bandha karana, due to ichcha, dvesha, sukha, dukkha, etc. And same connection is also cause for the liberation, samsara vimukti karana, because of the 20 qualities, amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, kshantir, arjavam, and so forth. If the Atma doesn't have a connection to the Prakriti, then there is no question of these ichcha, dvesha, sukha, dukkha, or amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, etc. The term vikārāṁ refers to desire, hatred, etc. experienced by the self due to the conjunction with the Prakriti. We ended our previous session by posing a question that if it is due to the conjunction of Prakriti that one is going through this desire, anger, hatred, humility, etc., these 4 and 20 qualities, which seem to be a lot, why even one should have a body? It's much better to be without the body. Being in the pralaya stage, in unmanifested stage, is much better than being in a manifested state, having a body and have to go through all these different things. Let's see the answer. Being in the pralaya stage is not called or not considered to be a moksha stage. Pralaya, srishti are all functions within the material realm. So for one to become free from the repeated creation and destruction, one has to finish their pending karma. Just by being in a pralaya stage is not going to remove or finish one's karma. One has to come out of the pralaya stage to spend their karma. For one to finish their karma, being in the pralaya stage without body is of no use. One has to take a body, take birth into this world, going through their respective karma to get rid of all the past deeds and practice sadhana, bhakti, and cultivate the 20 qualities to get liberated. And getting liberated means this person has finished all his karmas and never to return back again into this world, or never to be in the pralaya stage. It is beyond the creation and destruction of this world, and that stage is called moksha. At that time, there is no a question of these 4 and 20 qualities. The Atma will be in its natural position. It is said, Shariram Adyam Kalo Dharma Sadhanam. The purpose of having Sharira, the body, is to perform dharma. And this could be of any path. For one to perform Karma Yoga, or Jnana Yoga, or Bhakti Yoga, or Sharanagati, one needs to have a body. Without the body, one cannot perform Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, any of these. And especially in Pralaya stage, it is not at all possible, because the Atmas are going to be in a dormant state. This body that we have is a product of Prakrti. It can function only if it is associated with a sentient entity, which is the Atma. The body by itself can never function. The body cannot do Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Prapatti, etc. It has to have a connection with the living, conscious entity, a sentient being, which is the Atma. When the connection is there between the Atma and Prakriti, the body can function. Likewise, the Baddhatma cannot perform Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga without having the connection, without having the body. And as per the will of the Lord, in accordance with the karma that is earned by the living entity, the Prakriti produces the variations, the modifications like desire, hatred, etc. and also qualities that leads one to moksha, the humility, pridelessness, tolerance, etc. By the qualities like ichcha, dvesha, etc., one becomes entangled into this world. Whereas by one having the qualities of amanitvam, adambitvam, one leads towards liberation. Therefore, these 20 qualities are favorable and desirable, whereas the 4 qualities are undesirable, unfavorable. But both of these are produced by the Prakriti, and the Prakriti produces these things based on the will of the Lord by the karma that has been accumulated by the individual Jivatma. Therefore, it is very important to understand the value of the body. Without the body, one cannot be freed from the karmas. It is only through the body one performs their dharma and get rid of all the karmas. It is only through the body that one can perform certain yoga and progress towards self-realization and Paramatma realization. And finally, when one becomes completely free of the karma, one attains the spiritual world where one never have to return back again into this material world. Therefore, the body has to be valued, but the value only as much as it is needed for one to perform their dharma and bhakti to attain Krishna. If we give too much attention to the body's demands, then it will pull us totally away from Krishna and make us focus 100% on the body. It makes us slave of it, slave of the senses. Rather, if we focus on the body, its need as much as needed for the body and the Atma to sustain together, as long as it has to be in connection in this very life, that's good enough. Therefore, if we don't give attention to the body will not cooperate with us to do our dharma. At the same time, if we give too much attention, then the same body will deviate us from not doing dharma or bhakti. Therefore, we need to handle this body carefully to give attention and importance in such a way our bhakti is not jeopardized. And all this while we've been speaking about the connection of Atma with Prakriti, and that Prakriti is nothing but the body that we have. Prakṛtiṁ, meaning this body is the product of Prakriti, which is called as Prakrta. Since the connection to the body and Atma is beginningless, when we say beginningless, not that this same body that we are having now is beginningless with Jivatma. What it means when we say the body and Atma are beginningless in their connection, it is the connection to the matter, connection to the Prakriti, where we have gone through several different bodies, not just this body, but irrespective of different bodies, we were in connection to the body, and that connection is what told here as anādī. Since the relationship between these two prakriti, the body and the living entities, is beginningless, likewise the bandha hetu, the cause for bondage, is also beginningless. Likewise, vimukti hetu, the cause for liberation, is also beginningless. Therefore, it is the living entity's choice, free will, which has been given by the Supreme Lord to make use of its intelligence, its knowledge, to do the right thing, which is good for itself. In other words, try to work towards cultivating those 20 qualities by which the 4 other qualities are vanished. When the 4 qualities are gone, which is because of the Rajoguna and Tamoguna, that means one is moving towards a Sattva Guna. Due to the Sattva Guna and the cultivation of those 20 qualities, one will become eligible for liberation. The next thing that we need to know is how does these Ichcha and Dvesha becomes the cause of the living entity's bondage. How does the Papa and Punya gets accumulated it's important to know the function of this, which we will learn in our next session.
Namaste. Hare Krishna.